It's frankly very sad. You know, it's something that I think a lot of people in Detroit aren't incredibly surprised to hear. It's the city has been in decline for many, many years, all of my life since I've been born, at least. But it's been hard to watch, I think, as an insider being from Detroit and on the outside now living here in Washington, D.C. But I think what you're seeing really is just this sort of vicious cycle that the city has not really been able to get out of. You know, you have high unemployment. Because you have high unemployment, you have thousands of people that are just leaving the city in droves to find economic opportunities elsewhere. When you have people leaving the city, you're obviously producing less tax revenue. Right. You have to tighten the budget. And not to mention that when you have more unemployment, you have more issues like crime. And that's just one inevitability of having high unemployment. So that puts a further strain on resources from the police department, the fire department, et cetera. So it's not all that surprising that a system like that's frankly unsustainable would collapse.
It makes a lot of sense. Now, Bob, to you, there are more than 100,000 creditors on
memories for people, but you know, obviously the governor of Michigan and the emergency manager, Kevin Orr, are 110% behind this filing. They believe that you sort of have to rip the Band-Aid off to start the healing. 60-year decline, so they're sort of ready for that recovery to start. But there are some weary politicians, like Mayor Dave Bing, who never really wanted to pursue this filing in the first place. And I would assume it's because he doesn't want to, you know, hurt the future of the city workers.
There's going to be a lot of blowback.
Whose pensions are going to be in jeopardy moving forward. Aside from that, I would say that Detroiters are pretty optimistic. Detroiters and Metro Detroiters are pretty optimistic about this. They're not looking at as hitting rock bottom. They feel like we hit rock bottom a long, long time ago, and that this is really just this is the thing that had to happen to move forward, to turn the page, and really sort of you know, kind of the beginning of the end of the pain.
Right, and that kind of leads me to Bob, to you. Bankruptcy, it's often
it sounds
bad,
scary.
But it can be a positive thing for a city. Can you expand on that?
It's like a reset.
Hipster movement towards Detroit. Is this true?
No, it absolutely is true, and it's a very cool thing, because when you think of Detroit, you don't think of hipsters. Not at all. But this is something that's really, you know, started to take root in the last few years, and I think it's really because the city sort of started to evolve into a haven for artists. The Detroit tech industry is booming. It's really starting to outpace multiple other cities, and there's a lot of R&D. There's a lot of research and development. And all of these elements combined are really attractive to young people.
And that gets back to what I'm saying, but you have to clear out the bad stuff first. And in order to do that, you know, it's going to take a liquidation process, a bankruptcy process to do that.
To bring the art. Now, final wrap up. Do you guys think positive or negative for Detroit moving forward?
Positive. Absolutely positive. It is positive.
We're smiling about bankruptcy. This is terrible, but it is a positive step. Everybody knew it had to happen. We're moving in the right direction.
Okay, so optimism moving forward. That's what we're thinking for this.
Definitely optimism. Detroit has the foundation. It has everything it needs. It has strong industries, some of the finest academic institutions, great cultural institutions. So I am a huge proponent, obviously. I think it's moving forward.
And not biased. Not
biased, not in the least.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you joining me today. Let's have you back soon to talk more about it. Okay, that was breaking the set producer Amira David and prime interest host Bob English.